Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Creative Chaos. I want to apologize for not being here for a couple of weeks, but I needed that break. Work was kind of insane, and so I needed to take a couple of weeks off so that I could get things taken care of at work. Now, today is going to be, it's not going to be as informational when it comes to describing what I'm doing as normal videos. If you want a more descriptive video, then I invite you to watch any of the other ones where I do this on a hoop. But we're going to kind of go through this a little bit quickly, well, quicker than usual. So I cut my wires to 16 inches. Actually, I think I cut these to 18 inches because I knew I was going to do a side view on the trunk. So you take your wire, you bend it in half, find the midpoint, and then you're going to place that on your hoop. I like to do, because I'm right-handed, I take the back wire and I flip it through to the front, and then I take the front wire to the left side and pull it through to the back. And I'm going to do that with all 18 wires. And we'll do it faster. I can't remember if I cut some of this out or not, but in any case, I hope that you've all been doing well. Spring has really hit. It's been kind of a menopausal spring. It's like 1 minute you've got a hot flash where we're up in the 90s, and then the next week we got a cold flash where we're down. I guess I don't think it would be a cold flash, would it? A cold spell where we're down in the 60s and 70s. And so I prefer colder, but it is what it is. Okay, so I've got all my wires on now, and we're going to take them one at a time. And I decided with this tree to twist the trunks, or the root system. So I'm just going to take them one at a time. And for the first, so there's 16 in all. So for the first 6 and the last 6, I'm going to twist them 12 times. But for the middle 4, I'm only going to twist them 10. And that's because the roots from the outside are going to need more room to come in towards the center, whereas the ones in the middle aren't going to need as much. I hope that makes sense. They're just not going to need as much because they're going to be coming straight up as opposed to from the sides. So we're just taking and twisting. They're just half turns, but they're 12. So 12 on the right side, 4 in the middle, 6 on the, 12 for the first 6, 10 for the middle 4, and then 12 for the next 6. So hopefully something in that made sense. We've had a cold going through our family, and I didn't catch the cold, but I've been doing a sleep test at home, which requires me not to use my CPAP machine. And that's been rough, and I didn't realize just how much it affects your health to not have, excuse me, see right there. I didn't realize that it affects so much to not have that CPAP machine on. So I was grateful last night when the test itself took 3 nights, and you just hook up to a pulse monitor and then a breathing tube, and it just tests how much you do and don't breathe. And so I did that for 3 nights, and last night was the first night I was back on my CPAP machine. I just need a new one. Mine is so old they don't make the parts for it anymore. And so so that's what I've been playing with. So it gave me a little bit of a cough. Luckily I haven't caught the cold that my kids have had, but we'll wait and see what happens. We like to share in this family. What can I say? Okay, so we're down to the last ones. I don't know why I stopped that so soon. But anyways, so we're taking it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I was behind one. Now we're going to take those and we're going to flip them up. I am going to put my thumb over, you want to spread them out a little bit so that they're kind of not clumped together. And then I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to put them over the root system where I don't want this trunk to twist. And then I forget that I have weak hands and that this is strong metal. And so I have to split it in half in order to get the twisting to start. So we'll get that twisting. Once that first initial twist is, it locks it into place so you don't have to worry about the root system anymore. And then you just have to decide how far up you want your trunk to go. I like to go about halfway. But I also like to have an interesting twist or bump or lump or whatever you want to call it in the trunk. And so I use all the muscles I have in my little arthritic hands. And I try to make a... There we go. See, it just makes it it gives it character, is what it does. So now I think I've got it where I want it. So we're going to start. Nope, I don't have it where I want it. Hang on. Okay, now I've got it where I want it. Now is when we start pulling apart the branches now, because we now have 32 branches sticking up, and so we're going to go in variations, or in clumps of 8, because 8 into 32 is 4, and we want 4 trunks, not 4 trunks, we want 4 branches coming off. So I'm pulling it apart, going for 8 maybe twigs. Anyways, eight of the wires in each clump, and I'm trying to get them at the base as close as possible to where they kind of stick together, so that there's no strange formations coming out of it. You want them to be as close together as possible. So I have a few extra on that one, so I pull them over to the other side, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. So pull apart 8 of our wires to get them, and getting them as close to as possible on the bottom. And just making sure that one had 8. Okay, now we're going to take, and we're going to split these 8 into 4 groups of 2 groups of 4. And then we're going to take those 2 groups of 4 and we're going to twist them several times. Now I twist them a little bit more on this outer side because I've got more room to play here. I'll still be able to get on plenty of rock chips, even though I twist it, I think, 6 times. And I don't normally go up to 6. Usually I do about 4. But I'll do the same thing over here. So we're splitting it up into groups of 4. And then twisting it. Let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 6 or 7 apparently. And then I'm just going to twist the branch a little bit just to give it a little bit of character. I don't do that on the other side simply because I forgot. And so that's as good as it gets with me. So again, we're splitting them up 4 and 4. And then this time just twist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Because that one will mainly go upward. So I do need, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm just so fascinated by what I'm doing. Holy cow. All right, now we're going to do groups of 2 and 2. And I won't make you watch through most of that because that's just boring. Well, I will make you watch it, but we'll fast forward it. How's that? There we go. Okay. Okay, now is when we start to put on the rock chips. This is the fun part. Oh, just kidding. There's still more to do. Hang on. Okay, now we get to put on the rock chips. Okay, as I have said in other videos, I try to go with smaller chips close to the trunk because it allows you more room. First I wanted to show you, you just can't see how pretty it is. Malachite is a very dark green, and it's just gorgeous. It's got these striations, these bands of different colored greens and light and dark. They're just absolutely beautiful. So, highly recommend. I got mine off of Amazon, and I will post a link to that if I can find it. So, now when I put mine on, I always try to gauge how many I need to have on there, because you do need to be able to pull it tight, but you also want room to dome it. When you are able to dome it, it just looks, I mean, it looks 3D. It's just so pretty. And so you want enough that you're going to be able to dome it, but you don't want so many that it's wrapping itself around the hoop, I guess. And so usually, depending on, it's going to be around 9 chips. It just depends. Then you're going to take your wire and you're going to hook it around once, twice, and 3 times. It'll give you 4. It'll look like you've wrapped it around 4 times if you're just looking at it, but it really is 3 wraps. So I'm just going to go through this. I want to take you through the first several because then I want to show you what I do when I decide I don't want a particular wire. So sometimes these will get really, really full. You won't see me in this one, but you'll see in other videos that I've done of these kinds that I manipulate and play with where I want the branches to sit. Right now, those branches are coming down almost to the roots, and I don't necessarily, I'm not a fan of when they come all the way down to the roots, but mostly I do that right now because I need it to just kind of keep it out of the way so I can work with the others and get them put on. So I just have room. That's what I'm trying to say. So that I just have room. But when I come to a space where I'm like, okay, it's getting kind of crowded, I really don't need this wire, I actually just take and trim it off, and I'll show you that soon, I think. After this one, I believe. So again, use your smaller chips towards the bottom, and then you can use your larger chips as you head out towards the hoop. Wrap it once, twice, and 3 times. There we go. Now here is where I come in with my flush cutters and I just trim it off. It really is that easy. And you'll find yourself doing that especially near the last. So here's the hurry up and completed thing. Oh my goodness. Anyways, we're trimming the wires on the back side down as flush against the hoop as we can get it. It's still going to be kind of prickly, so we're going to do something afterwards to help with that, because they do still want to stick up. So we'll just get these last few taken care of. And then we're going to take our flat nose pliers and we're going to just bend them in. I mean, it really is just as easy as that. And you're just going to take and twist each one individually, and that just helps make it so that it tightens up those loops, which is awesome. And then it makes it so that those don't stick out, so they're not going to scratch your window or your wall, wherever it is you decide to hang it. Okay, now we're going to do something a little bit different that I haven't done before. And we're going to add some bling to the bottom of this. So I've got my chain that I picked up. Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you how long ago I picked that up. So I don't know. I'm manipulating the wires a little bit, the root system, and that will give me some space in that middle there to be able to add the chain so that I can hang my, I got two teardrops, two tiny teardrops that you can't see, they're kind of off camera. I've got two tiny teardrops and then more like a water drop for the big one in the middle. So for the two teardrops, I am doing a length of 5 chains or 5 links for the two teardrops. And this is the type of chain where I can just pull it apart and it comes off, and so it's easy peasy. And then I'm going to do a length of 10 links, a length of 10 links for the middle, because that's going to be the bigger one. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my length. I always do a length of 20 chains or 20 links for the top that I'm going to hang it from. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that taken care of now. Okay, and then I've got a bunch of jump rings that you can't see because I didn't realize so much of this was off camera. I apologize. So these little prisms that I got came out of a kit that I purchased, and I just thought they were the perfect size for this 4-inch hoop. And so now when you are opening and closing jump rings, always do it side to side, like slipping side to side. Never open it up like you would like when you're cracking an egg and you have to open it up. Never do it like that. I'm slipping on the chain and the teardrops, and then I'm attaching the chain to this split ring that was in the kit. And then we attach jump rings to the top, and again, go side to side when you're opening it up. A lot of these were already opened, so I just had to. Now, in order to get it over the hoop, I had to open it up a little bit more. But then you're just going to slip it back to the side, and it's going to close that up. So I did one of the tiny teardrops to the right side. I guess it's left, isn't it? And then we're going to do another tiny teardrop to the other side. And then we're going to attach, I had made a little gap in the root system. We're going to attach it to that little gap that I had made. And that's just an easy way to add some extra sparkle. If you have rock chips or crystals that you use, that you can put it up in a window and make a beautiful sun catcher. But it's also just pretty on its own. And so I'm now just going to attach the chain. I have larger jump rings that are sturdier, that I purchased a million years ago. So I couldn't even tell you where I got them from or how much they were or anything like that. But you can use any kind of jump rings you like. I just happen to like these because they're thicker, and so I know that they'll hold them up easier. Anyways, that is it. That completes our steps, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. I am going to try and do something a little different next week, just because we've been doing the same thing here and there. But anyways, have a great day. make it a great week, and we will see you next time.